Coach Moore, were just really good role models for me in high school. And they told me, and it was kind of, they probably don't remember it, but they told me when I was 15 or 16 years old, kind of pulled me aside and were like, look, you understand this game really well. So, they said, if you're actually interested in coaching, you might have a shot at doing it. Like, don't think it's impossible. Which just hearing that kind of made me go, okay, like maybe I can do this. And so kind of towards the end of my college career, I started, during the summers in college, I didn't get like your typical kid. I was probably the only person at Rhodes that I know who never had an internship. Because I knew I wasn't going to be doing marketing or, as a business major, I wasn't going down that route. So in the summers, my internships were working college camps.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I worked a camp at Georgia, worked 3 or 4 at South Alabama, worked a couple at Troy, worked some at UAB, and kind of bounced around the Southeast trying to make connections for the day that I graduated college and would need to try and get a graduate assistant job.
And that's what you got to do. That's how you put yourself out there. You got to go. I mean, visit all those programs. That is awesome that you did that.
And it was, I had some people, and my college coaches helped me out. High school coaches helped me out with connections and contacts to get in front of those people. When like I just showed up at Georgia and work at camp. I had some people make some phone calls and take a vested interest in helping me reach my goals.
Well, I think there's something, I don't know if you have any players watching this or anything, but I think that's something to be said that if there's something that you want to do, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would have never asked when I was a kid, but it was mainly because I thought I couldn't. And, you can go to people and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. People want to help other people, and that I think that's pretty awesome that you did all that.
And it's, the big thing, and I can't remember who told me this, but like somebody just said, Will, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no.
Right.
And then nothing changes. You're right where you were.
Yep.
So kind of, not being afraid to ask people for those help and connections and things. And, the volatility of the coaching profession. Because in November of that first year, Coach Callaway got let go.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So the entire staff was let go. So I go from having like a sweet deal at an FBS program, and I'm at a D1 school, like I'm set. And real quickly I realized like, ooh. And was like, hey, I got a kid. He's on spring break. He's got a place he can stay for free in Athens. He just wants to come learn. Like, that's all he's trying to do. So it was a pretty cool experience. For a week during spring ball, I got to sit in on the offensive line meetings that Coach Friend ran with the players. And
that's awesome. Full
access at practice. And got a chance to have a phone call with Mike Bobo. And he gave me some, timeless advice. Because, at the time I was working in a weight room, I wanted to get on the field, and, we talked on the phone for about 20 minutes. And at the very end of it, I'm trying my best to try and get, an internship or something there. And he just said, Will, let me give you some advice, man. If you want to play, if you want to coach on the field, you need to get out of the weight room. He's like, that's not helping you get on the field. And the longer you stay in the weight room, the harder it will be to make that transition. You'll kind of get pigeonholed as a weight room guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I left, came home, kind of left UAB, told the coach, gave him my 2 weeks, and I took a job at Eagles Landing Christian Academy. He called me, and he said, why don't you start coming in and helping out in the office? We've got some camps, some things coming up where we could use some manpower and, give me a chance to kind of see you in action and see how you do things. And so I ended up working. I interned that summer for about 2 months. And at the end of that summer, he came up to me, I think it was right before August, and he said, can you get into grad school? And I looked at him and said, oh, no. That I hope. That I did okay in college. I didn't excel quite like high school. So, I had the school I went to, I had right around a 3.0 GPA. But it was an academic school, kind of a lot of nerdier people up there. I was able to weasel my way. I had to take a GRE like 2 days later to get a test score. So I spent the next 2 days in the office studying from a Kaplan study book, dusting up on that geometry and all the.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
Foil, all that stuff. It was, it was not a fun 2 days, and I ended up making a good enough score to get accepted. And he told me, he said, look, I don't know what you're going to do yet. You're either going to be, assistant offensive line coach, or you're going to be the tight ends coach. And it was like the day the players showed up, he said, hey, you're coaching tight ends. And I barely knew what I was talking about. I mean, man, I'd love to go back and hear some of the dumb stuff that I said as a 23-year-old offensive lineman who's coaching tight ends. I mean, it was.
All right, reach block.
Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, I don't know much about this whole passing game stuff. Like, I told our players after our first practice, we did Skelly, and I'm talking to the guys afterwards. Said, so that's what y'all been doing over here this whole time. I was like, this is the first Skelly I've been a part of in my career, and it's at so it was a tough transition, and it was, the lucky thing for me was all of those players were freshmen. We were a brand new program, so they didn't realize how stupid I was.
Coach Lamb was awesome. I hated to see him go.
Yeah, it was a tough deal, and he's somebody that I'll forever be indebted to. Gave me an opportunity to